Wait, but where's Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Okay, never mind. We're all good. Wait.
All right, we are
It's now
live
live on
on YouTube. So if you're just joining us, jump on in. Jump on in if you were just joining us. We're going to wait for some people to jump on. It is live now. So let's see if we got some people watching.
I'm watching.
You're watching. It'll bounce through your headphones. So
I was teasing. I'm watching off the screen. I'm not on YouTube.
that's fair.
I think my mom's watching.
She should be watching. Ask her if it's working.
Hi, Debbie.
Debbie? Is the live stream working? Awesome. It's working.
It's working. It's working. That's a Star Wars.
Wait, so how does the Q&A work? Do they have to like go on Zoom?
So here's how I'm going to explain how the Q&A works too. I'm going to put a form in the chat and they can copy that. It's actually in our, if you're online right now and you're wondering if you're asking questions in our page under the About section, you can click on that link, but I'll also put the link in the comment section as well. Hey, if you're jumping on right now, if you're watching live with your family or at home, I just want to welcome you in. Again, we have our seniors here tonight. We're on a Zoom call, so you'll see all of them as they're doing their various things and getting ready, but we're going to wait for some more people to jump on. I want you to start thinking of questions that you have for our seniors right now. So whether you are, if you have questions about school, about relationships, or whatever you want to ask them, this is the time. Normally we do this at the end of the year and we have a big party and cookout and all kinds of stuff, but you know, with COVID-19 going on right now, we have to make the best of what we have. So this is what we're doing. So again, I'm going to post in the chat. I'm going to post a link. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to highlight that link and then it'll send you to a Google forum. You can type your question in there and hit go. You can send as many as you want, and then I'll be reading those later on when we get into that. If you have any concerns or anything, you can't hear it, it's grainy, other things going on, let me know in the chat as well. Oh, hello, Tiana's here, Laura's here, the Eastlings are here, Brett's here, Adam's here. This is the last youth group for the year as far as the school year goes. We're going to take a break. We're not going to be meeting next week, and we're going to wait on, actually, the governor is actually announcing things right now, so I have no idea what he's saying. And so we're going to wait for him to kind of say what the next steps are, what we can do this summer. I want you to do this right now. If you haven't already followed our social media, go on to Instagram or Facebook, and you can go to EFCB_SM, and you can follow us on there. That's where all of the information for this summer is going to be. Speaking of this summer, 2 days ago, I had actually yesterday, I got word of what is happening with Challenge. So if you are a high schooler and you have been wondering about Challenge and you signed up for Challenge and you're ready for Challenge, I've got some kind of pretty bad news, but it's not the worst news ever. Challenge has been officially shifted into a virtual one-night only event. And so no, we are not going to Challenge in Kansas City, unfortunately, this summer. But they are going to be doing a one-night only event. And what my plan to do right now is during that time, I've already talked to some other youth groups. Again, all of this depends on what the governor is going to be saying. But if we can meet as a big, large group, like 250 people or less, I've invited some other churches to come to our place for that one night event, and we'll play some games and maybe get some food trucks out and have a good time with about 5 or 6 other youth groups coming to our building. And so if you are a parent and you're wondering about Challenge and you've put a deposit in, that deposit is 100% reimbursable. I'm going to be sending a parent email tomorrow night, and you can be looking forward to that. So I'm going to jump on to Zoom with the seniors here. We've got a few more that are going to join us. And I'm going to go around. I'm going to have each of them introduce who they are, kind of if they were homeschooled or went to BHS or went to something different, and we'll go from there. So it's going to look like I'm just being in the Zoom call, but I'm watching the chat as well, so you can talk to me during that. So I'm going to jump in and see who else is here. So we have Noah joined. Oh, hello, Noah. And who else is Emma going to join us? You guys can go unmute yourself. I meant Ada. Emma called Ada. I'm smart enough. I can understand this. So you guys can unmute yourselves because we're just going to have a chit chat right now. So
Gonna have a nice little chit chat, huh, Alvin?
a nice little chat. Okay. Bandit C. I'm looking at the chat right now. Bandit C, are you just some random person that strolled onto our youth group page? I have no idea who Bandit C is. Is that Neil? Is that you?
No.
No, it's not you. Who's Bandit C? Can you tell us if you were a random person? They were on last time, and I was like, who is this? Hey, what's up, Noah? Yes, no, Noah. Okay, go Beans. So actually, we'll start like this.
Noah.
Boo. Boo, Noah. I don't know. All of our screens are different. So let's start with Neil. Neil, you want to introduce yourself? And you're at the top left for me. And then where you went to school, and maybe tell us what you're going to do next. How about that? Does everybody understand what they're going to do next, like next week, maybe?
So it's who you are.
Nice and loud, by
where
the
you
way.
went to school, and then what you're doing after school.
Sure. Yep.
All right. Well, I am Neil. I went to BHS, and I'm hoping to go to the University of Florida for business administration after I graduate.
Whoo! Florida would be hot. That's awesome.
Online, so I can go anywhere I
Yeah.
want.
Oh, bummer. So you're still stuck in Bemidji.
But it's practically free, so it works itself out.
That's fair. That's exciting. Business administration. That'll be good. Awesome. All right, Rena.
Did you just call me Rena?
Yep. Everybody else calls you it. Why not?
That was kind of sweet. That's what my family calls me. Hi, I'm Serena. And what were the rest of the questions?
Where you went to school?
Oh.
Everything after school.
I went to BHS, the high school. And then after school, I was going to go to school to be an art therapist, but I decided to take a gap year rather than spending my money when I wasn't sure if that's what I wanted to do. So I'm spending a gap year saving money and figuring out what I actually want to do for college.
Nice.
Yeah.
Art therapy. Also, shameful plug right now. If you have an Instagram, you should go and follow Serena's Instagram pages for her
There
art.
we
It's
go.
pretty neat. So I have an art page for my Instagram. Just saying.
You're pretty cool, man, for your
Thanks.
models
I am
that you
pretty
didn't
cool.
specify were not human
I-
models, and you said you posted pictures of models.
Yep. I have over 1,000 followers now. It's pretty cool.
That's actually cool.
I know, right?
I should
All
follow
right. Who's
you.
up next? Emma, you're up next. I'm literally going around the circle.
Okay, wait, what are we saying again?
Your name and where you went to school and
Where I went
you,
to school?
and
To
what you're
quote,
doing.
to quote Emma,
and-
she said that she barely went to school when I asked her to do it this morning.
That's fair. And then what your plans are, no matter what they are. We just want to hear them.
Right now, we don't really have plans because that's just
Rona.
me. Me is we. Gosh. Because we like to be sporadic.
That's smart.
Mm-hmm. So
How's your parents feel about that?
they don't really care.
Nice. I hope they're watching.
They're definitely not.
That's fair. Do you have any plans though? Do you have any like aspirations to go anywhere, do anything? I loved it.
Yeah, I travel
Oh, travel. Where would you travel to?
anywhere.
Okay.
The
So you would
Antarctic.
travel to I Falls?
Next year. That's where you'll see her.
Oh, yeah.
That's fair.
I know a lady in Turkey if you want to go.
What's his name?
Alaska's pretty dope.
No, it's not. I'm just kidding.
I think it's pretty dope.
Just kidding.
Nice. Lindsay, you're up.
Okay, well, I was homeschooled. And
What's your name?
what?
What's your name?
Oh,
I mean, he
Lindsay.
said it, but
He said it. And I was homeschooled in Alaska, so that was fun. My plans for my next plans are I'm probably hoping to maybe move somewhere south near the East Coast, possibly. And also, Noah, are you good, man?
It's okay. I muted him. I hope he doesn't die on the live stream. That would be embarrassing.
Noah's dying.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go somewhere and probably pursue photography, hopefully.
Are you still working for that one photography place?
Not really. I mean,
Sore subject, my bad.
if he no, it's not. It's not. I just haven't worked with him in a while. If he had like a wedding shoot or something he wanted help with, I'd totally do it. But I am not consistently working with him anymore. I'm kind of just on my own now. So
Yeah, freelance. That's the way to go.
oh yeah.
You don't have to do taxes that way. Nice. Elizabeth, you were up.
The question. Oh yeah. Okay. I was homeschooled most of just my schooling, and then I did like PSCO and other like online other online high school programs. And I am going down to Northwestern in St. Paul to get an animation and illustration major. And so yeah, that's my plan for this year. I don't know. I'm not that interesting or cool, but
Have
I'm
you
just-
have you seen Northwestern's what do they call it? They have this big like animated like film festival they do.
yeah.
Oh, Albin, I've seen that before.
What is it called?
I don't remember. I just like the rock. I want to paint the rock.
Yeah, you and literally everybody else. That's awesome, Elizabeth. I'm so proud of you. You're gonna have a ton of fun at Northwestern.
Hopefully.
All right, last but not least, I'll unmute him so you can talk.
Oh my
Did
gosh.
you meet him?
Yeah.
Noah, you're up.
Okay. So I don't know. So my plan that I've been developing over the years
This
is
is Noah Paulson, by the way. He went to BHS.
oh
shows.
yeah. Hey guys. Yeah, I was actually homeschooled up until 8th grade though. Some people don't know that.
Whoa, would
but,
never have thought it.
Yeah, but the plan is I'm gonna be buying a Volkswagen van and then moving to LA for music and acting. So
Nice.
that's-
LA is the place to be
that.
right now.
the
Yeah,
beaches and everything.
yeah, they're closed with
I'm
the
excited.
coronavirus.
No,
Dude, you're gonna do
it's
that would
not
be
gonna stop
awesome.
me, man.
I feel like a Volkswagen van would be pretty legit. Have you ever thought about like getting one of the big ones though, like and
Yeah,
then ripping it out?
that's what I want to do. Is I want to get a big one, and then eventually, what I want to do is I want to get a bunch of DJ equipment, and then have it so that the van stereo is actually the DJ equipment, and you have to plug it into the walls, and then you could actually unplug it and use it as like a mobile DJ booth.
Nice. Okay, well, let me do this. Now that we've gone around, kind of introduce everybody. Are you guys good to start with your words of wisdom? Now, if you're joining us on YouTube Live, let me just tell you, explain to you what's going to happen. Our seniors every year, this is a tradition that I didn't start. Our seniors every year are going to, they basically spend a little bit of time telling you, the underclassmen, whether you're in middle school or in ninth grade or whatever grade you're in, about some things that they either wish they knew or things that they learned the hard way or things that they've learned along the way. And so each one of them is going to spend some time giving you some words of wisdom. Every year, this is like the highlight for when we, used to meet and we would do normal things. This would be the highlight for the year. And so I would encourage you, we're not maybe playing a game tonight, but this is really good stuff. And so they're going to give you some principles that you might be able to apply to your life because they've been there where you haven't yet. And so to start, I actually, one of our students, his name is Kale, and he sent me some of his words of wisdom. He can't join us tonight, and I'm just going to read you kind of what he said as far as his go, if I could pull it up. Again, week after week, I do this streaming thing. And week after week, I realize that I just never do this full time. Okay, so Kale would say this. The first thing is to never, ever hit your thumb with a 4-pound hammer. That's honestly what he told me to say.
I know.
He also said, choose your friends carefully. Find a more elegant way to say trust no one. Oh, I probably should have read this beforehand. Trust no one until they have stood the test of time. That's pretty good. And then lastly, Kale said that you should represent your family name well and your own image well. It's just being of the things that you're truly given, and you never know who's watching or listening. Basically, what Kale's saying is you never know who's watching you, and you never know who's listening to the conversations you have. So make sure you represent who your family is well and who you are well. And I would add, as you represent Christ well in your school. So, all right. So we're going to go first with Lindsay. She volunteered to go first, and then we're just going to popcorn around and see who wants to go. And so again, I put a link in the chat for the Google Doc. You can go on there and you can ask as many questions, and we'll just kind of spitfire through those as they come. So Lindsay, after 18 years, it is your time to share your words of wisdom with the other students. Take it away.
Okay, I'm winging this, so it's gonna be good. So it's hard being homeschooled because I have no experience in a high school social aspect, I think, so I can't give you advice there. This is a bad idea. I did work a lot, so I did keep busy, and I think one thing that I wish I would have done more, that when I did do it, it really helped, was spending time in the Bible and with God, even if it's like a few minutes a day, just making sure that I made time to read my Bible or dig into it or just talk to God and pray or worship, listen to worship music, all that stuff. It's just like a few minutes a day, just setting that aside, or if you can do more, just making sure that you spend time in the Bible every day if you can. And it's hard when you're busy, I get that, but just a few minutes in the morning or just at night or whenever you can, I think it's really important to every day try to do that. So that was really helpful. Like I said, something that I wish I would have done more. But other than that, I think Harris had did he say something about, he said something about friends, and he making a lot. I think it's going to make a lot of friends, and to be kind to everybody and love everybody, but also be careful about who you are getting close to, staying in the right groups, but also being accepting and loving to everybody. And try to have a lot of fun if you can, and do fun stuff, and travel if you can. That was a fun thing for me, being able to travel throughout high school, because it's good. Yeah, I think I'm out of ideas, so
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emma, you want to go next since you're right there?
Yeah. I also have not prepared anything for you
That's
today.
okay. They're my favorite.
Perfect. Okay, that's Lynn's gonna leave for a minute.
We'll come back, Emma. How about that sound? Okay. Who wants to go as Emma Brings it in, brings it in. All right, Neil, you're up. Nice and loud. Really loud, Neil.
Now I unmuted it.
Yeah, there you go.
Is it unmuted? Okay.
There we go.
Nice and loud though, because you're sitting a little far back.
Yeah. So I would just kind of say that, especially when life kind of starts to suck, that you kind of try to keep your head up and you keep trying. I know, like, as a senior, this COVID thing has really been a downer. We didn't get our prom, or we're not even getting a proper graduation. But it's been really important to me, and I think it should be important to everyone to stay focused, still work hard. Online school has, for me, been a lot worse than going to actual school because I can't hang out with my friends. But I've been doing school every day. I've kept my grades up, and I think that's really important, especially because later in life, when you're like trying to go to work or something, it's important that people can see that you try to succeed in life. And then I would also say to not only like keep up with your work and stuff, but also have fun. I made the really bad decision to work basically full time when I was a sophomore. And for 2 years, I kind of did that, and my life kind of got swept away from me. So I would definitely say try to like hang out with friends as much as possible while also doing your stuff. And enjoy the time while you have it, because when you leave high school, you're going to be leaving friendships and stuff. And for me, it's been really hard, but I know it's been an important ride, and I wouldn't change anything, but I do wish I would have spent more time with friends and family.
Nice.
I'm good.
Good job.
Serena, you want to go?
Okie dokie then. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so I used to think about what I was going to say for my senior year words of wisdom like all the time, because my dad was the old youth pastor, for all you young kids who didn't know that.
I took
So
his
like
job.
I used to like sit in and watch on senior night sometimes, like when I was really little. So I used to have all these plans, and I think my main idea of what I want to say is that your plan often is not the same as God's plan. And sometimes that can be really painful and really disappointing. And basically, I guess my overall statement is just to trust God no matter what high school is going to bring you. Because I actually didn't surrender my life to Christ until I was 17, even though I'm a pastor's daughter. And I did it at Challenge. And I figured that my senior year, I would be doing super well with my grades, and that we would have a senior year, and that I'd have my life figured out, that I'd be going to college, that I would drive. And I'm a senior. I admit I don't even have my permit. I took the class. I am taking a gap year. I only am just really fully investing in my relationship with God, and even then I have tons to grow. And I've gone through a lot of emotional issues and chosen some pretty bad relationships, not Neil, in the past. And so I just, my overall wisdom would be, when you're going to make decisions for your high school career, genuinely think about, is this what I feel like God wants for me? And I know that your heart can tell you that God wants certain things. Like if you really think this guy is cute, you're like, oh, God wants this for me. But think through how much of yourself you're willing to give away to the world when all of yourself belongs to God. That's my ending statement, because that was good.
Boom. Nice.
So, yeah.
Thanks, guys. Who wants to go next? Emma, have you recomposed yourself? No. All right. Elizabeth or Noah, you're up. All right, here we go.
Sure. All right, I'm up. Okay. I also don't have anything prepared, but I felt like if I prepared it, that would sound scripted, and I don't like sounding scripted.
Authentic.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, originality. That's kind of what I think I'm gonna talk about. I would say that whatever you do, God made you, He didn't make you your friends. He didn't make you that one guy you saw on the TV show, and he didn't make you better than you are or worse than you are. And I would say that a lot of times throughout life, I wanted to be like cooler or fit in better. And I would say it's cool to stick out. I would say that if you're you and people think that's weird, take it as a compliment. It's cool to not be everybody else. I would say that at times I would like try to suck in different people's personalities that I thought were cooler, try to be better than I was. And I feel like the best you can be is you, and that's the way God made it. And I feel like that's the best advice I can give is don't let anybody change you for who you are, and just if you stick out and own it, and don't let anybody else tell you anything else. I think that's it.
It's good stuff, man. Absolutely. Thanks for sharing. Noah, I gotta be honest. You stuck out. I'll never forget going to the musical, and there's everybody smiling, and then there's Noah sticking out, being him.
Noah
Yeah.
and his shaved legs.
Hey, actually, so for my senior, I was supposed to get a senior sign, like a sign that we put for my graduation party, and Misty Moments made it, and she didn't have any pictures of me except my musical picture, and it's right here, and it's kind of
Oh, see it? Yes. That's awesome.
It's just staring at you.
Yeah, I know, and I'm supposed to look like a wiener, and I don't try to be mean, but that really does not make me look anything but cocky in that picture. But
hey, but that's what I mean. To be fair, in the musical, that's what that's the role that
Exactly,
you're playing.
yeah.
So I understand. The
Mhm.
old ladies that drive by probably don't, but whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy because I'll wake up to go get a drink of water, and I'll get out of bed, and it'll kind of catch me off guard a little bit because there's Noah staring at you as you walk by. But
That's funny.
Oh,
That's not Noah, that's Warner.
that would be Warner, yeah.
Yeah.
See, Noah would be smiling and kind of looking constipated, maybe a little bit, but yeah.
That's fair.
Can I ask how many people are watching?
Right now there are probably around 60 to 70 people watching. Why?
We are YouTube famous.
Emma, are you ready yet? Or you want to bring us on home at the end?
What
No.
about Elizabeth?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just checking in.
She's gonna end it out.
All right. Elizabeth, you up next?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Um,
What do you got,
yeah.
Elizabeth?
I tried not to think about this whole thing because I was like busy and stuff. So I thought about writing stuff down, but then I just thought I would just sound awkward because I'm just naturally awkward.
Turtle.
So I just kind of didn't think about it the whole day, and then I'm here now. I think the most important thing that any like person at all in any stage of life, especially in like a schooling situation, like high school or is just to ask for help before things get out of control, because not everybody, you can't fix a lot of problems that you think, oh yeah, like it'll be fine, I'll be able to deal with it, but then 6 months later and you're failing like 3 classes and then you can't do anything. It's better to ask for help when it's easy, even though you might think people are going to be mad or disappointed in you, and then to just be able to get back up and keep going and know different ways on how to do stuff better. And just, I think another thing is just follow your like dream. This sounds like a movie post, but like follow your dreams, because so many people, like you hear in like movies or just everything in general, people hate their jobs or hate just things that they do in life. And honestly, I'd say like a big thing to work towards is surround yourself with people who are going to build you up so that you can pursue what makes you happiest in life. without, of course, getting like a big head or going with like the wrong people or having, I don't know, it's like a fine line. But I think just, yeah. So keep going towards like having a goal, because there's a lot of, oops, freezing up. Yeah. And so I think that, yeah, that's pretty much the main like point is asking for help and knowing that people aren't going to get mad at you if you ask for help genuinely. I mean, if you're going to be mean about it and be like, yeah, just mean about it, then yeah, they probably are going to get mad. But if you are genuine, like being genuine is also a big thing. And then just do what you like in life, and then it can get you places. I don't know. It's not very wisdom filled, but that's what came to mind. So
Hey, thanks for sharing.
yeah.
You know, as you talk about asking for help before it's too late. I mean, I feel like everybody in this Zoom call would raise their hand if we asked, did you ever get to a point where you should have probably asked for help? You know, like I think back to high school and college, it's like, I probably should have asked somebody instead of, I'll figure it out or it'll be all right. And then it's like, and it snowballs down the hill and.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, when people say, like, especially when they're like, oh yeah, you have a big like test in like 3 months, you should start studying for it. And you're like, oh, it's 3 months away. I don't have to worry about it. And then like a week before the test, and you're like, oh wait, I'm not prepared. And then, yeah, it's rough stuff. So just, yeah, it's a big thing. Look at your syllabus. That's big. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
All right, Emma. Last but not least, certainly not least.
Okay.
What do you got for us?
Little giggles.
You gotta get him out. You gotta get him out.
All right, Lindsay's eating this. Okay. So basically, what I think I'm going to say here today. One second, I can do this. Is that
It's okay. It's okay.
I'll leave the room. Sorry, just go.
Hey, Noah. What's up, Noah? Hello, friends.
Hey guys.
Hi. Say hello to YouTube.
Hi, Toba.
You guys are on YouTube.
Tell
Live,
us
by
is
the way.
there.
You're in front of like 70 people on YouTube right now.
70.
Ish.
Hey. Emma, I hope this is helping.
Tell them I say bye.
They say bye.
Okay, bye. Nice knowing you. All right, Emma. Bring us home.
So basically, what I've learned is that you have to be yourself. Pretty cheesy, I know. You gotta be yourself, but that's just because if you try to change yourself to fit in with someone or to, I don't know, make friends, it's not gonna work. So yeah, just be yourself. And
That's fair.
I don't know, just try to look for the good in everything, because you can't be a negative Nancy. No one likes a negative Nancy.
Yeah. absolutely.
Speaking as a negative Nancy, I'd like to think that I'm well liked, but I mean, you do you, Emma.
Gotta be a positive Polly. That's what I always say. Never said.
No, that's good stuff,
How
though.
about an Emma? Oh,
Whoa.
I love her. Cap on the stuff.
That was good, Emma. I appreciate it.
That's a lot to pull that together.
Nice. All right. So now what we're going to do is I have the forum pulled up. We've got about 15 questions so far. Again, if you scroll up in the chat, you can grab that link and then that'll take you to the forum. You can just type questions in and I'll see those instantaneously. So if you guys are all right, I'm going to ask some general questions. Anybody can kind of jump in if you want to answer it. And we'll just try and see through if we can get through the rest of them. We'll either get through all the questions or run out of time, one of the two. So sound good to you guys? Good. I thought so. I didn't even wait to ask you. Okay. The first question. Here's one for you. This was asked twice, actually. How do you ask someone out?
Yeah, I would just unmute it.
Neil, do you want to take this one away?
Wow.
Do it, dude.
Ask their dad first.
Yeah.
I can
Ask
tell
their
you how
dad
to
first.
not ask someone out, and that's over Snapchat. Don't do that one.
Don't do it through Snapchat.
Or over phone at all. Yeah, that's probably.
If you
Also,
want them to value you as more than a
One at a
friend
time.
in
It won't.
person,
It won't go through if you don't do it all. Okay, one at a time.
Serena, go.
if you want them to value you as more than a friend in person, then you have to make that step of bravery of being at least in person. I mean, right now there's COVID-19. I don't know why you'd really start dating someone with COVID-19 and social, like, I don't know. I won't judge your choices.
I also think that if you're gonna ask someone out, then make sure you're friends first, and that you're not like, oh, this person's pretty. I've talked to them for like, I don't know, 12 hours total. I want to date them, because that often leads to a breakup.
Know
Or
who they are
marriage.
as a person.
Holla.
Also,
I would
Christian-
say the exact same
Christian.
thing.
What would you say, Noah?
I would say the exact same thing. I mean, like, speaking from personal experience, somebody that wants to either use you for something or would want to do something that maybe isn't in your morals is going to be just as nice as your closest friends right away. And it'll be like that for a while. And then if you wait long enough, you'll filter out the bad people because you won't make any bad choices. And if the bad people don't get what they want, they'll just leave. And so if you wait long enough, the good people will stick and the bad people will leave just automatically.
Yeah.
And a major point, as someone who chose to date a non-Christian, after like 3 months of having accepted Christ, I thought it wouldn't be that big of a deal because I could probably change them. You can't change, like, it happens sometimes, but more likely than not, they're just going to distract you from Christ. Okay?
That's called missionary
worth
dating.
it.
Doesn't work.
If you want your first love to be God, then don't try adding a love that isn't with, you know what I'm, yeah. Just
I get
no.
what you're saying.
I think it's important that if you're a guy asking someone out and you're like picking her up, go to the door and get her. Maybe.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like take it back to the olden days. Don't do the whole phone thing. Phones are bad. Bad.
Down with technology as we watch a YouTube
Quality
live.
Conversations. Deep
Do-
conversations.
First date karaoke.
Karaoke.
Yep.
Go for a walk. You know, don't do a movie. Do not do a movie.
No.
Movie is a bad first date.
Yeah.
We went
No.
for a walk.
You stop. Don't even.
What about you, Elizabeth?
Probably make sure you know the person as, like, I think other people already said that, but as friends first, because if they're not a good person, there can be a lot of just bad feeling or like regret in the future of things that could have been avoided that weren't. And so just stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah.
Here's a pro tip from Albin for you seniors as you maybe go to college, or even you guys watching online. When you go to college, your first year, your freshman year, maybe even your sophomore year, I know the opposite sex is fun to hang out with. And I know you want to go, if you're a guy, you want to go and have a bunch of girlfriends and go and hang out with all the girls and whatnot. And that's what a lot of young Christian guys like to do. But the biggest advice I could give you is make sure that you spend the first year or two really diving into good, godly, like friendships that you can have with the same sex. So like, if you're a guy, really dive into the guys in your floor, the people that you're interacting with, or whatever the case may be, but really get those core group of friends. And then when you get a little bit older, whatnot, and branch out, you could go and find somebody and be friends with them, and then maybe date and whatnot. But then as you look back, because once you get married, if you are a guy and you marry a girl, you can't go and be friends with a bunch of girls anymore. It's just not going to happen. And so, but if you have a solid group of guy friends, you could turn around and be like, hey, I've got all these guy friends, and same thing with girls. If you have a bunch of guy friends and then you go and get married, you're not going to be able to be friends with all the guy friends. Not saying you can't be friends with them, but like, it's a lot harder once you're married. And so as you think about that, like, use your time wisely and build those friendships early on. So there's a pro tip for me. Hey, next question. This is a good one, actually. I don't know who asked this, but I really like this question. What experience were you guys hesitant to do, or you were hesitant about doing at first, but after you did it and after you got used to it, it changed your life? Is there any experience that you did that you were hesitant about and that changed your life?
Like in
Serena, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, I had my hand up, but then they started talking about, I don't know.
Oh.
For me, it was doing theater. I was super, super anxious about doing it because I had a really not good friend who had told me I was really bad dancer. And I know I'm a bad dancer, but like, she was just mean about it when we were that age. So I almost didn't audition freshman year. And I really think I would have regretted that, because doing musical theater, even though it wasn't necessarily a God-saturated environment, it really taught me a lot about myself and helped me to get out of my shell and to accept who I am.
Nice.
And yeah, so I'd say if there's an activity that you're interested in, just go for it. Because I chose not to do show choir because I thought I was a bad dancer for the first year, and I regret not having another year of it because I loved it. So if you're interested in it, go for it. It's high school, and if you aren't good at it, no one's going to remember past high school.
Sad. Well, okay, the smiley giggly girl said something.
Take it away, Emma.
I don't know. I did show choir for a couple of years. Pretty fun. I don't know. I think if there's even like a little bit of a chance that you might enjoy something, to just do it. You feel uncomfortable. That's it. Okay.
For me, it was JROTC. I did track my freshman year, and I actually got bullied for being a part of JROTC, and I actually got bullied quite a bit. But I did it all 4 years, and I learned a lot of people skills and leadership skills. And I think it's one reason why I was able to become a manager and stuff in my job. And so by far, it was the best decision I ever made in high school, even though I was very hesitant, because not only did I join the class for an easy A, but when I was in it, I was bullied for it for the first, actually all 4 years even.
Anybody else have an experience at first they were kind of hesitant about, but it changed their life? Noah?
Yes. I would say I was a very nervous guy coming into 8th grade. I would say that I didn't have a lot of friends. I had maybe 1 or 2 close friends, and then those friends introduced me to their friends, and that's how I ended up meeting people. But I always did sports and everything, and I was always nervous to branch out. Like, I always felt like I had to do so there was like certain people I looked up to, and I feel like I had to do what they did. Otherwise, I was kind of a weirdo. And as I said earlier, being a weirdo is cool. So my friend Joe, who is actually he was kind of like one of the jock kids or whatever. He was like trying to convince me to join choir, and I was like, dude, that's kind of weird. Like, choir just doesn't seem like a cool thing to do. But I did it, and then from choir I branched off into show choir, and then from show choir I branched off to musical, and I ended up like making like one of the bigger decisions in my life and deciding to move down to LA in the future and pursuing an acting and music career. And that's all stemmed off from tiny little decisions like the one I made to join choir in 8th grade.
Nice. Nice. Next question. There's a bunch of them, so I'm gonna just get us moving. What has helped you grow closer to God in high school? I'm adding the in high school to the end of it. But what is something that has helped you grow closer to God? And I hope I know the answer.
Eighth grade.
Do you want the answer to be Albin?
Yes, both answers are acceptable. No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, what are some things that in your personal life that has helped you grow closer to God?
I joined a Bible study group of girls, like you were saying, just connecting with other females and growing with them on a spiritual level and getting different ideas and different thoughts and opinions and getting people, having a group of people that can pray for you, that you can pray for, meeting together, digging in, discovering new things, growing closer to God together, and having someone to help you do that is really good. So if you can join a Bible study group, and youth group is good too, but also it's good to have. Yeah, that was a big thing.
Nice.
What was the question again? Was like, what's the thing that's brought you?
What
closer
has
to God
helped
or
you grow closer to God? And then I added in high school. So what is something that's helped you grow closer to God?
I kind of stem a little bit off what Lindsay was. I don't know if you like friendships. Being friends with God-focused people really does change your outlook, because I can tell the difference in how I act as a person. Not like I'm being fake, but like my mindset when I'm with godly friends and when I'm with people who don't know God. So I'd say a big thing that has drawn me closer to God is investing in people who are going to point me towards him and push him towards my family, and find and invest in people who are going to push you towards making the best decisions for your faith and for your family and for yourself. And then as far as what has helped me grow closer to God, it would say my trials.
Yeah, that's good. Elizabeth or Noah, you got anything? Something that's helped you grow closer to God?
Just yeah.
What'd you say?
Me or him?
Yep, Elizabeth.
Oh, okay. Probably the same as Emma and Serena. Just kind of finding good friends that build you up and not down, because it's really easy to fall away from God when you have people who are just kind of dragging you down, or you're just both wallowing. Like if you both have like similar problems and are just wallowing in despair, then you just kind of you don't bring it to God and go like move up. You just kind of sink and like sit in a little pool. So that I think is a big thing that helped me.
Yeah, that's good. Here's one for you. Where did it go? Oh man, where did it go? Oh, how do you deal with pressure from school and parents, etc.? How do you deal with pressure? Yes, Emma.
Yeah. So it might not be the best, but you gotta sometimes distract yourself with something that you enjoy doing, not necessarily like through the school or anything. Like I like going to the gym, and then I'll be better when I come home. I don't know. I think having something that you enjoy doing is really helpful for that.
I would also say, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Like, school is super important, but if your parents are pressuring you to be the A student and do great in sports, and internally that it's just killing you inside, don't be afraid to like speak up and say, I need to be able to like do some fun things as well, even if that means I can't do a sport in the fall. Like, don't let the pressure overwhelm you, and don't be afraid to speak up for what you believe in, because God wants you to be healthy, and that means not being perfect.
Anybody else have any tips for how to deal with pressure from school or parents or anything?
Helps me. Oh, I cut you off, Noah. Ha ha.
No, that's okay. Go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right, hold on. We'll go Serena, Lindsay, and then we'll end with Noah. Elizabeth, did you have anything either?
But not. I'll keep thinking. But.
Okay, so Serena, Lindsay, Noah. Here we go.
A big thing that helps me is just whenever I'm getting really stressed, because I have panic attacks often. So if I get bad, I'd like to whether it's just typing in the notes app on my phone if I'm in like a public place and don't have access to notebook paper, or just writing out, even if it's not complete sentences and it doesn't make sense, write out all of your thoughts or whatever it is that's like overwhelming you, even if it's literally just saying, I can't. And it might feel like you're dwelling on it, but I kind of reverse that instead to thinking about you're releasing that from your brain. And even if you're not necessarily being extremely productive, you're able to like get rid of some of those negative emotions by the process of physically writing them down. So that's helped me when I get really overwhelmed with school.
Good. Lindsay.
Well, I didn't get stressed that much, but I know when I do get stressed, like work and stuff, I set a goal for myself and then focus everything into getting, achieving that goal, which probably isn't healthy because that stresses me out more. But then when I complete the goal, it's like it's all lifted off my shoulders. So I just continually set goals or things to look
Do
forward to.
lists.
Yeah. Noah, how do you deal with the pressure of just looking so handsome?
Well, I'm probably gonna sound like a hippie when I say this, but I would say
okay.
just life goes on, man. Like, no matter what happens, if you okay, so let's take for example, work today was stressing me out because I couldn't get my schoolwork done before going to work. But the more I thought about it, the more I was just like, okay, worst comes to worst, what happens? If you think about the worst case scenario, is it really that bad? That's how I think about it. And if you have to live the worst case scenario, is your life going to end? It's probably not. And to me, I didn't get my schoolwork done. I went to work and I got home and I finished it, and that was that. And life still went on, and life is still good.
Nice. Absolutely. Life does go on. Here's one for you. And again, we're kind of running out of time, but I want to get through these, so we might take one or two answers from now on. What do you know now that you wish you would have known in middle school? I know that was a long time ago, but what do you know now that you wish you would have known in middle school? Or Emma?
Who lied and told us school was like High School Musical? Because it's not. It is not like that. Okay. First of all, no one is happy. It's kind of, it's not a good vibe. So you know what? You gotta be the vibe, okay?
I just want to throw in I liked high school for the most part.
Middle school. You like middle? You like middle school? We're talking about middle school.
Right. I liked middle school too.
Oh, I liked middle school. No, middle school was good. We get to watch.
And tell my middle school self something. It's that your worth is not defined by what people think of you or even what you think of you. It's only defined by God. And I still need to hear that now. But like, no matter what you weigh, no matter how bad your acne is that day, no matter if they answered your note in math class or if they didn't, or if they gave you a weird look, or if you looked really weird in gym and got pit stains, that's not your worth. All real experiences, by the way. But that's not your worth.
Yeah.
I didn't want anything in middle school. Once you get to high school, everyone forgets about middle school because like that's when
Apparently because they're all sad.
Everybody wants to forget about middle school.
Yeah.
But middle school is fun while you're in it. You know.
High school's in a whole new chapter, and it gets a lot better. And if you do make yourself look goofy in middle school, everyone's gonna forget. So just try to have fun.
Here's one for you. This one isn't applicable to everybody, but I think Noah might give some good answers for it. I really do not like homeschooling. I really want to go to the public school, but my parents won't let me. What
I've been
should I
homeschooled my
do?
whole life. I can answer this, but Noah, go.
Well, you didn't go to the
No,
public
give it
school.
to Noah.
Hold
Give it
on,
to
hold on.
Noah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me rephrase the question. Anybody can answer. I'm just saying Noah went from homeschool to public school. Maybe somebody else did too, but I'm just saying. So I really do not like homeschooling. I really want to go to the public school, but my parents won't let me. What should I do? How should I approach my parents? What should I do?
So, okay, so I was actually in the same exact situation at one point. My parents would not let me go to public school. And for 2 years, I fought with them about it. And it's some people are just homeschooled kids, and that's like they're just naturally better with their parents than they would be with a public school teacher and being around all of their friends all the time and all the distractions that come with public school. And for me, I was like a person that like could not handle being at home for more than like 2 days at a time. Like it was like I couldn't be at home for 2 days at a time without seeing one of my friends or somebody that like isn't related to me. And it was I think that instead of trying to convince your parents that you don't like homeschooling, tell them that it was great and that homeschooling, because homeschooling is great and it was a great experience for me, and tell them that you're just more of a social person and you want to be in public school just because you feel like it's the right choice for you, and not that homeschooling was wrong, but you feel like public school could take it to the next level and that it's a little bit better.
Can I also answer this to bring another
No,
point?
anybody can answer. I was just saying Noah legitimately did it.
I want to answer. Okay. When I first moved down here from Alaska, actually Serena, this is all her fault. She spent like 3 weeks trying to convince me that I need to go to high school. And I was like, yes, I need to go to high school. I have to. So then
It's
I
true.
spent the next like few months trying to convince my mom. So it did not happen at all. And I was super upset about it because I am super social, like ridiculous social, and I was tired of being stuck at home. So it didn't work out for me, but I will say if you are in that situation, it's important to respect your parents and their decision to do certain things. Like my mom knew that, it would work out better for me to be homeschooled, and I was young. So I was like, I mean, this isn't the situation for everybody, but I was just really convinced I need to go to high school, and it ended up working out great for me. So, to not go to high school. And I had a lot of opportunities to travel, and I've gotten to do a lot of awesome things that some people can't when you're public schooled. So I had a lot more freedom, which I appreciated, but that's personal, and I appreciated that. But another thing is, if you can't be public schooled and you struggle with not being able to be out and social and everything, it is good to get a job or to go get involved in something, if you're in the situation. I went out and got a job, and I've worked at Minnesota Nice for 3 years, and I've gotten a whole lot of social experience and amazing skills and people skills and work skills that a lot of people, in middle school, high school, all that stuff don't get. So there is an upside to not, to being homeschooled. You can make the best of it and learn a lot of things. So that's just another. But I was right there with you. I wanted to go so bad.
Elizabeth, do you have anything?
I did I had wanted to go to the high school pretty badly as well, because I thought it would not fix my problems, but I thought like, oh, I'd be in like a place where I could like be out there and like see people, and I could like talk to people face to face, where yeah, that is a perk, but a lot goes on in the high school as well. Like it is like fun to be able to see your friends all day, but you're not there for your friends. You're there for classes and education, and that's kind of a big kind of misconception, where yes, like you do like see friends. It's a very social place because you're in a building with like 300 other people, but then not all of the 300 people are a good influence as well. And that can be that's the part where parents can be a little bit skeptical or hesitant of letting kids go into the high school, is because like you are homeschoolers. I'm not gonna, no matter who you are or where you are, homeschooling, you are very sheltered, like very sheltered. And then so you're going from homeschooling where you're with a really healthy, like probably most likely, not for everybody, but like Christ-centered family, and then you go into a very secular building with 300 other people that have way different values than you, and just stuff where you wouldn't normally think like, oh hey, that's normal to think. Like there's a lot that goes on, just either like, and it's not me, sorry, it's not me trying to say it like, if again, like going off of what Noah said, sometimes it's better for your learning and academic ability to be in the high school, because you're able to talk to people, be face to face with teachers, and like be able to ask questions and stuff, which if that's great for you, that's some people are wired that way. But with every like plus side, there are downsides, such as like drug culture and like stuff like that, where it's, yes, it's not like glorified, but it's definitely a very real thing that you have to be careful with. And that just, again, just like respecting your parents, if they don't feel comfortable, then like you can find like a really nice job or like do stuff and then do stuff like that. I don't know, that's personal experience and just personal opinion, but it's different for everybody, and so that's just my 2 cents on the situation. But yeah.
Good
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, last question for the night, for the seniors of 2020. Okay. And I think this is actually a pretty good one to end on. Okay. There's 2 questions and they kind of are similar, and anybody can answer and we'll just be done when we're done. How would you get rid of a friend who is a bad person or a bad influence? And how would you stay close to God and when you hang out with not good people? Okay, so talking about bad influences and not good people, and staying close to God, maybe saying no to those friends. How would you do that?
I have a great answer for that one too.
Okay, we're gonna go Elizabeth, then Emma, then Serena, and anybody else want to answer?
I might, depending on what theirs are.
All right, so Elizabeth and Emma, then Serena.
Okay. I think the second part of the question, where how do you stay close to God when being around people who are probably not Christ following or like stuff like that. It's really important to like, you shouldn't push your opinion and be like, I'm a Christian. You should like, don't talk about that. But having boundaries and being like, I'm not, and making sure that they know like, yeah, I'm not doing that, or like, that's not what I do, or just like putting up that boundary so that they know you're different, and so that you don't blend in, because we are called as Christians to be lights and to like be, so people can see, oh, you're different, like why are you different? But it's not like a weird different, they can tell, and you need to make sure that your light shines out so that they know like you wouldn't ever just like hold a cross and be like, repent. Like we're all sinful in that way, but knowing that there's like boundaries and like not participating in certain activities is a big thing, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Emma, you're up.
Okay, so wait, can you repeat the question one more
Yep.
time?
How do you get rid of a friend who might be a bad influence on your life or a bad person? And how do you stay close to God when you choose to hang out with those kind of people?
Okay. So there's like people that you're kind of friends with, if they're bad influences, you just gotta distance yourself even more. But if it's like a pretty close friend, I had this happen to me. It was a pretty close friend and she started doing a lot of bad stuff. I had to cut her off. I had to tell her that I couldn't have her like influencing me. And I said I'll still like be there, but like I can't continue not interacting. What's
Investing?
what?
Investing, like spending intentional time and like making a lot of efforts to like make that one of your main people.
Right. So yeah, you just gotta distance yourself, and sometimes you just gotta be really straight to the point with it, no matter whose feelings get hurt.
Another thing is for me, I really struggle. Like, I know you definitely need to set boundaries if you're going to be hanging out with those people. I personally, when I'm in the moment, I kind of forget everything. So sometimes you need to accept that you can't handle certain situations and just don't put yourself there. Don't even give yourself the temptation. Don't make yourself have to set the boundaries. Just don't go there. That's what I have to do sometimes. So.
Yeah.
Before I go, could you repeat the questions again? I just want to make sure I know what I'm answering. Sorry.
How would you distance yourself from somebody who's a bad influence? And if you choose to hang out with them, how do you focus on God when you still choose to hang out with them?
So I've done both of those. So starting off, like cutting off someone who's toxic, like not like in a whole trendy way of like cut out toxic people. I mean, if it's someone who is making you worse off, either in your faith or in your like health, whether physically or mentally, it's not worth your investment. And one of my best friends last year was continually just like kind of taking advantage of me and how much I would just always be there for them. And it eventually just took a breaking point of, I didn't block them on all social medias or anything. I just thought it through and I prayed about it before I did it, and practiced typing what I was going to say in my notes. And I didn't address them in person either. And I just sent them a long detailed message saying like, I care about you so much, but I know that every time that I'm with you or I like spend time investing in you, it's hurting my heart, it's hurting my mind, it's making me worse off. And I care enough about my faith and myself that I just need to take a step back. So if you really need someone, I'll be there. But I'm asking you to not be that person. Like, don't make me your go-to person anymore. You can't call me in the middle of the night anymore. You can't keep on doing, like taking advantage of me just because I've been there, because it's not healthy anymore.
Right.
And that's really tough to do. And if it means that you have to like kind of let go of them everywhere, like I only blocked the main social media that we contacted each other on, and that totally worked for me. But if you need to like cut them off completely, do what's best. And I'd say what makes that easier is having solid people that you can know will hold you accountable. That will be like, remember you said you weren't going to keep on being their crutch, or you weren't going to keep on investing in this person. So have people there that know you're making that decision. And then as far as being in the world, but not of it, you know, being surrounded in a not Christ-focused atmosphere, I'd say just try to really think through how you're representing God. Every action, whether in word or deed, do it all for the glory of God. I think of that a lot, and I'm very convicted because I know sometimes my actions or my words are just very much targeted in order to make people like me, because I'm a people pleaser. So when you're doing things, if you're going to think at the end of the day, like, I regret that, or think that that's not something that you're really proud of, then try your best not to do it. Because even if you're in a toxic environment, you know, there's still a spot for you there, because I got kind of coined as like that token Christian friend in a lot of groups. And they're like, oh, she's the Christian girl. And it wasn't like I was ostracized for that, or like I wasn't their friend. And it wasn't like I shoved it down their throats like that was my identity. It was just that they knew that I wasn't going to be doing the same things that they were on a Friday night. And they were okay with that because they loved who I was. And if you just show people unconditional, radical love like Jesus would, that will make a difference.
Well, any closing remarks from you seniors? Last things you get to say?
Don't do
The
drugs.
video, be sure to like.
Whoa, what was that, Emma?
Drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Stuff, full send
Not
everything.
drugs.
Full
Don't
send
do
everything but
drugs.
drugs.
Full send
Yeah.
everything but drugs
Remember,
and alcohol.
kids, It's a crack house, or it's not a crack house. It's not a crack house. It's a crack
It's a
home.
crack home.
Okay.
Mhm.
And Neil said to like and subscribe.
Like and
Yep.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe,
Yeah. Anything from
and
you,
don't
Elizabeth?
do anything stupid.
Yeah, pretty much the same that's already been said.
Don't do drugs.
Yes.
Don't have sex till you're married. All that jazz.
Also, yes.
Hey, if you joined us tonight, thanks for coming. Senior, stay on for a minute. If you joined us tonight, thanks for coming. I would just love for me to pray for our seniors. So if you bow your heads and just join me in some prayer for them, and we'll sign off for there. And don't forget, watch our social media, both on Instagram and Facebook and on YouTube. And I'll let you know, depending on what the social distancing guidelines are, what we'll be doing this summer. But be also looking forward for the challenge event. So let me pray and then we'll sign off. God, thanks so much for the seniors of 2020. Thank you for who they are, who you have created them to be. As Noah said, each of them are an individual, and you have a special purpose and plan for their life. God, allow each of these seniors to pursue you and everything they say and do, no matter where it is, no matter if it's in LA or in Alaska or online or here in Bemidji. Lord, wherever they go, allow them to keep you number one in their hearts. And we pray these things in your son's name, Jesus. Amen. All right, guys, we will see you later.